Hey everyone, welcome back to Body Bags. It's theme week again. Our theme this week is kind of unique in that we're doing Never Sleep Again, the Elm Street Legacy. Essentially what we've done is we've broke this down. Every day you're getting another section. So I got part one, Tuesday's part two, Wednesday's part three, and so on and so forth. So what can you say about Never Sleep Again? This is what documentaries about movies should be. I mean, what's the runtime on this? The runtime is 238 minutes. So it's damn long, and it covers everything from. Well, except for the remake. I think it came out before the remake. Yeah, so that's how you do a documentary. You really focus it. And what's really kind of neat about it is usually when you get documentaries talking about like a series of movies, they'll talk about the first movie, then they'll go on to the second, and then they'll start referring back to the first one or whatever. This keeps it pretty separated. So I've got Nightmare on Elm Street 1. I lucked out this month because Nightmare on Elm Street 1 is one of my favorite movies, and let's put it this way, if you're watching this channel, more than likely it's one of your favorite movies as well. If it's not, sucks to be you, I guess. I don't know. This shows right from almost like from before the inception of A Nightmare on Elm Street. It covers everything. It talks about like how they did the kill with they had like the spinning room, and it goes into depth about these things. Like you hear the story in this about like how during Johnny Depp's death scene that someone pretty much almost got electrocuted because of the amount of blood, and it was in a turning room, so that the blood like electrified and stuff. You get tons of info like that. You get a lot of interviews with Bob Shea, which is interesting because you have a very, how can I put it? You have someone that in Bob Shea that feels an ownership of Freddy. And does he deserve that ownership? It could be argued yes, it could be argued no. His back and forths with Wes Craven are pretty much legendary at this point. There was a lot of, back and forth where eventually they settled it, and everything was good, but there was some tension there for quite a few years. It goes into that quite a bit. It goes into what's neat about it is it goes into just the little minutia of the making of the first Nightmare film. I mean, it even goes into a thing talking about the ending and like how the ending was like essentially thrown in as like a bone to Bob Shea, because he really wanted like a stinger end, It goes into the history of the film itself, the writing of it. Like, we've all heard the story about the Hmong people who were dying in their dreams, which was the impetus for Wes to write this film. It goes into that and everything, and it's just an all-around thorough and solid documentary. The section on part one, I think, is roughly about 48, 50 minutes sort of thing, and you never feel like they've skipped stuff. You never feel like the stuff you want to hear that you haven't heard enough of. Like you get to the end. Let's put it this way: when I watch this, I watch them section by section. Like over a few nights or whatever. And that's what's great about this also. Everything is broke down into sections. So you literally start off with the first movie. You have this section of that. Then it goes on to the second, then the third, then the fourth, so on and so forth. And it really makes it very easily digestible. So, honestly, if you've never seen Never Sleep Again, do yourself a favor, buy it. From what I know, there's actually a double feature of this with Never Sleep Again and Crystal Lake Memories, the Friday the 13th, one, which is even longer than this. I think you can still find that. If you can, I definitely recommend picking it up. You'll have a blast, and just hearing some of the behind-the-scenes stuff of the making of some of these movies is really good and really interesting. And, feature-wise, I mean, literally, there's like a second... There's 2 discs, And let's put it this way, disc 1 is the entire documentary. So, like everything. I think it goes up to Freddy vs. Jason, if I remember right. So you have another disc just with, like extended interviews and, like, freaking horrors, hallowed ground, and all this other stuff. And it's just a good release, honestly. And if you are a fan of behind the scenes of movies, if you're someone who wants to get into filmmaking, I think this would be a good entry point, just to see the amount of work and struggle and passion that's required to come out with a classic. For a rating, I can't just do it on the section I'm reviewing. I have to do it for the whole doc. This is an S-class doc. I've said before with my rating systems, 1 to 10, then S-class. S-class is something special. Doesn't necessarily have to be the greatest movie to get in there, but it has to be something, in my mind, that's just so awesome and so beyond. And this definitely falls in that class. It's one of the best horror documentaries on the market, and I definitely suggest picking it up. So yeah, Never Sleep Again, the Nightmare on Elm Street legacy, well, the Elm Street legacy, and Part 1, which I've just covered. I definitely recommend it. Yeah, that's it for me. See you next time.